Good day, everyone. The country that we will report is all about Ireland. So before we proceed, let's go first to the contents of our report. Here are the contents. The first one is we will give you a short details about Ireland. The second one is the overview of their police system. Third, the history of their police system. Fourth, the organizational structure. The recruitment. Here in the recruitment, we will talk about what are the requirements needed in order to be part of the organization. Next one is you can also see what are the firearms, weapons, and equipment they use. Of course, if they have firearms, they have also their own uniforms for the people to identify them. And lastly, rank and insignia. When we say insignia, it is a badge of authority or honor, a mark or a sign. So that is the content of our report. Ireland is an island nation on the westernmost edge of Europe, the third largest in Europe and the 20th largest on Earth. In addition to that, Ireland is divided between the Republic of Ireland, officially named Ireland, which covered 56 of Ireland, and the Northern Ireland, which is part of the United Kingdom. Take note, guys, in 2011, the population of Ireland was about 6.6 million, and they are the second most populous island in Europe after Great Britain. So yung 6.6 million was divided into two. Yung 4.8 million, they live in the Republic of Ireland or the Southern Ireland. Tapos yung 1.8 million naman nakatira sa Northern Ireland. Here are the facts about Ireland. The official name is Ireland. The form of government is constitutional democracy. When we say constitutional democracy, it is a system of government based on popular sovereignty in which structures, power, and limits of government are set forth in a constitution. The capital of Ireland is Dublin. Let's go now on the overview of police system. Let's talk about first the Southern Ireland. The police agency is Garda Síochána, or Guardian of the Peace. The department, Ministry of Justice, Law and Equality. Ranks, Garda Commissioner, it is the highest, and Garda, the lowest. Type of enforcement, it is centralized. The estimated strength is 16,000. Their motto is working with communities to protect and serve. So here are the additional information. Garda Síochána, the Guardian of the Peace. The police service of the Republic of Ireland. The force is responsible for the maintenance of law and order throughout the Republic. Ibig sabihin, yung mga police force, sila yung nagme-maintain ng law and order throughout the Republic. In addition to that, they are predominantly an armed force. So, nasabi ko na kanina na yung Garda Commissioner is the highest or the head of the National Police Force. Sila yung responsible sa domestic state security apparatus ng Ireland. Nasabi ko na din kanina yung Garda is the lowest rank. So, ang tawag sa mga individual officer is also a Garda or informally a guard. At ang tawag naman sa police station nila is Garda Station. Let's now proceed to the northern part of Ireland. So, ang police agency nila is Police Service of Northern Ireland or PSNI. The department is Northern Ireland Policing Board. Ranks, Chief Constable, yun naman yung highest nila. constable, yun naman yung lowest nila. So, magkaiba sa southern part of Ireland. So, centralized din yung type of law enforcement nila. Tapos, yung estimated strength is 7,500 lang. And their motto is keeping people safe. Let's now proceed to the short history of their police system. So, unahin pa rin natin ang Southern Ireland. So, nung 1816 pala, meron na silang basic police force at tinatawag itong the Peace Preservation Force. In 1822, the tradition of organized policing in Ireland can be traced back to the establishment of Country Constabulary. The Country Constabulary was a uniformed police force formed in a regional basis. So, noong 1836, the Irish Constabulary, later to be known as the Royal Irish Constabulary, and the Dublin Metropolitan Police were established to replace the Country Constabulary. So, di ba nauna is meron na talagang the Peace Preservation Force. Tapos, pinalitan ng Country Constabulary. Then, pagkatapos ng Country Constabulary, dumating tong pinalitan ulit ng Irish Constabulary and Dublin Metropolitan Police. So, prior to the creation of Irish state, policing in Ireland is common with many European countries divided jurisdictionally into two. And the two are a single municipality and centralized paramilitary gendarmerie. Pumunta naman tayo sa Northern Ireland. So in 1812, Sir Robert Peel was appointed as a chief secretary in Ireland. So he found out a land in which law and order in many rural areas was breaking down. In 1836, the Constabulary of Ireland was established. This constabulary was trained and disciplined force under the central control of the government administration of Dublin Castle. Noong 1867 naman, yung constabulary ay nabigyan ng title, which is a royal title because they was a part in suppressing the Fenian uprising of the year, and this constabulary became the Royal Irish Constabulary. In addition to that, the police force of Northern Ireland serves only the Northern Ireland. They are the successor of the Royal Ulster Constabulary after it was reformed and renamed in 2001 on the recommendation of the Pattern Report. This is the organizational structure of Southern Ireland. This structure was in descending order. The first one is the Commissioner, followed by Deputy Commissioner, Assistant Commissioner, Superintendent, Inspector, Sergeant, Garda, and Reserve Garda. This slide contains the Northern Ireland Policing Board. So, as you can see, the first one is Chief Constable, second, Deputy Chief Constable, Assistant Chief Constable, Chief Superintendent, Superintendent, Chief Inspector, Inspector, and Constable. So, nagtataka kayo kung bakit may national, districts, areas, and sectors. It is because the police authority of Northern Ireland was charged with supervising the activities of the police service of Northern Ireland. The senior officer or chief constable is in charge of the police service of Northern Ireland. So from national, it could be further divided into several districts. And each district is headed by chief superintendent. Districts are divided into areas, commanded by chief inspector. These areas are divided into sectors, and it was commanded by inspectors. This slide contains the recruitment. The overview of Garda entry requirements. Let's first discuss Southern Ireland. Here are the physical requirements. First is be of good character. Second is be certified by a registered medical practitioner. Dapat may certificate ka na ikaw ay in a good health, it is physically and mentally fit so that you can perform the duties of a member of the service. Third is have passed a physical competence test. The last physical requirements is you must be 18 years of age but not yet 35 years of age on midnight of June 6, 2018. Therefore, you must have been born between June 7, 1983 and June 6, 2000. Next is nationality requirements. The first one is be a national of a European Union member state or be a national of a European Economic Area state or the Swiss Confederation, or be a refugee under the Refugee Act 1996, or have had a period of 1 year continuous residence in the state. The last one is has been granted subsidiary protection or is a family member of such a person in compliance with the Admission and Appointments Regulations 2013. Educational requirement. First one is have obtained an Irish Living Certificate with a grade D3 minimum of 5 subjects at ordinary level or a level 5 certificate major award of the National Framework of Qualifications, or a qualification that in the opinion of Quality and Qualifications Ireland, is of a standard in terms of both level and volume of learning that is not lower than the standard of the qualification specified at number 1 and number 2 above. So, dito naman sa language requirements, they must have been proven proficiency in 2 language. And the 2 language is the Irish or English only. The next slide is the stages of recruitment. So, sa kanila may mga stages. So, yung stage 1, the Garda Online Assessment. Bago sila pumunta sa assessment center, meron muna silang online assessment. These assessment are completed at home in an unsupervised environment on a laptop or PC. See here for how to prepare the stage 1 of the Garda campaign. After the online assessment, they will proceed now to stage 2. They will go to the assessment center. This stage usually comprises of a number of assessment including validation test. So, yung validation test na yon ay parehas sa test in stage 1, but they are held in an assessment center under supervised condition. The main purpose of this is to ensure that the candidates did not cheat when attempting the stage 1 online assessment without supervision. In this stage, there are additional tests such as report writing and job simulation exercises are also usually introduced. The stage 3 is the competency-based interview. So, a competency-based interview is a highly structured interview where candidates are informed in advance of a number of key competencies. All candidates are assessed on the same competencies to ensure that there is a fairness in the selection process. The stage 4 is the physical competence test and medical examination. This is the final stage and is generally not a major obstacle for candidates who are fit and healthy, but it cannot be taken for granted. In Northern Ireland, there is a formal screening of application forms consists of a check to determine that the application form has been completed fully. So, the first is shortlisting. In shortlisting, it is carried out on the basis of the information contained in your application form. Second is assessment center. In some cases, candidates may be required to attend assessments. This may be in the form of an eligibility test, presentation, group assessment, or any other form of assessment where appropriate. So in education, they required proof of qualifications if you were invited to be interviewed. Computer literacy. So here, the applicants are required to have the level of computer literacy in order to effectively perform the role. If an applicant is successful following interview, they will be required to pass all the following stages in order to be considered for appointment. These are medical assessment, substance misuse test, recruitment vetting process, and online learning.
Good day everyone. Here's our continuation of our report. Dito na tayo sa letter F, which is firearms, weapons, and equipment. In Southern Ireland, or Garda Síochána, sabi dito, most uniformed members of the Garda Síochána do not routinely carry firearms. Individual Garda have been issued ASP extendable batons and pepper sprays as their standard weapons, while handcuffs are provided as restraints. So, sinabi dito na ang mga Garda Síochána, hindi sila nagkikerry ng firearms. Meron lang silang ASP extendable batons, which is ito yon. Tapos, ito, pepper sprays. And then, sabi dito, the Garda is primarily an armed force. However, detectives and certain units, such as Regional Support Units or RSU and the Emergency Response Unit or ERU, are commissioned to carry firearms and do so. So dito, ang mga pinapayagan lang gumamit ng mga firearms ay yung mga support units nila, which is Regional Support Units and the Emergency Response Unit. So ito yung mga firearms na ginagamit nila sa mga operations. So ganito yung kasuotan, tas mga baril na gamit nila. So next, punta tayo dito sa vehicles ng Southern Ireland or Garda Síochána. Vehicles are used in the course of regular traffic and other duties. Specialist units such as ERU or Emergency Response Unit use armored vehicles for special operations. So ito yung mga sasakyan na ginagamit nila. Meron tayong Garda Toyota Avensis. Ang Garda patrol cars are white in color with a fluorescent yellow and blue bordered horizontal strip, accompanied by the Garda's crest as livery. Then, sinabi din dito na meron silang armored vehicles, which is ito yon, na ginagamit ng mga ERU or the Emergency Response Unit para sa mga operations. So next, dito, all aircraft are used for investigations, anti-crime operations, traffic management, search and rescue, public order situations, crime reduction initiatives, and tackling terrorism. So next, punta naman tayo dito sa kanilang uniform. The current Garda operational uniform was designed to meet the needs of the organization at all levels and came on stream in 2006. The design of this uniform followed extensive research into best practice and international standards in uniform production. It presents a smart and contemporary look, as well as an operational uniform. Guardia members also have a formal uniform. The formal uniform is worn as directed by Guardia Commissioner on formal occasions. The occasions would include formal parades, guards of honor, and function hosted by the President. And so dito nakikita natin ang kanilang uniform. Iba-iba. So yung nasa right side yung mga ginagamit nila para sa mga operational units. Then yung nasa gitna, sila yung nagmamando ng mga trapiko sa araw, yung mga nasa labas. Then yung nasa left, sila naman nagmamando na ng traffic, and nasa outdoor din sila kahit mapaaraw o gabi. And then sinabi dito, the high visibility jacket is very important part of a protective equipment. The jacket is designed to provide a high level of visibility when a guardia is on outdoor duty, especially at night time and when on traffic-related duties. The uniform consists of guardia cap, shirt, epaulettes, ballistic vest, trousers or skirt, belt, waterproof jacket and fleece, waterproof trouser, utility belt, footwear, and gloves. Pumunta naman tayo dito sa Northern Ireland, or the PSNI, the Police Service in Northern Ireland. PSNI officer routinely wear bulletproof vests. The bulletproof vest offers a high level of ballistic protection. Many officers prefer the lighter and more comfortable stab vest. So yung mga officer nila sa Northern Ireland ay naka-wear sila ng vest or bulletproof vest para sa kanilang protection. Ganito siya. The color of the PSNI uniform is bottle green. So, ganito siya, bottle green, yung kanilang panloob. Next, pumunta na tayo dito sa kanilang rank and insignia. Rank insignia in the Irish Defence Forces are an indication of the wearer's military rank and worn by the officers and other members of the Ireland Defence Force as an element of their uniform, typically on a single chest tab or as a shoulder board. Dito na madali mo silang ma-identify kung anong rank nila kapag nakita mo ang kanilang insignia, which is nakalagay dito sa kanilang chest or dito sa kanilang shoulder. So next, dito na sa kanilang rank insignia dito sa Guardia Síochána. Ang pinakamataas sa kanila dito ay ang commissioner, which is dito sa right side sa pinakababa. Sumunod, deputy commissioner. Then sumunod, assistant commissioner, chief superintendent, superintendent, then inspector, sergeant, guardia, then reserve guardia. So dito nakalagay din ang kanilang yung mga estudyante, which is dito is student guardia and student reserve. Next, pumunta naman tayo dito sa Northern Ireland, or the Police Service in Northern Ireland. So ang pinakamataas nila dito ay ang Chief Constable, which nandun din sa right side sa pinakababa. Sumunod, Deputy Constable, Assistant Chief Constable, Chief Superintendent, Superintendent, Chief Inspector, Inspector, Sergeant, then Constable. Ito naman tayo dito sa kanilang best practices sa Southern Ireland. A sense of hope and confidence among the people legitimacy surveys, for example, shows that 86% of more of the population believe that the local authorities are well skilled and doing everything they can. So, sinabi dito, sa Southern Ireland, sinasabi, yung mga sa community, malaki yung ang tiwala nila sa mga police nila or sa kanilang sa mga authorities sa kanila. Then, sabi dito, people felt like they had high degree of popular participation in crime control. So, sabi dito, yung mga tao o sa isang komunidad, parang tumutulong din sila para mabawasan yung mga krimen, then para hindi na para ma-prevent nila yung crime na magaganap. Then next, in addition, integration of programs and strategies, strengthening and maintenance of partnership, then focus action on specific priorities. Next, punta naman tayo dito sa kanilang other details. The service is headed by the Guardia Commissioner, who immediately subordinates with 2 deputy commissioners in charge of policing and security, then governance and strategy, respectively, and a chief administrative officer with responsibility for resource management. And next, the Guardia Special Detective Unit, or SDU, are primarily responsible for providing armed flows protection to senior officials in Ireland. They provided full-time armed protection and transport for the President, Taoiseach Tanaiste, Minister for Justice, Attorney General, Chief Justice, Director of Public Prosecutions, ambassadors, and diplomats deemed at risk, as well as foreign dignitaries visiting Ireland. Next, the Guardia officers also cooperate with members for the PSNI to combat cross-border crime and can conduct joint raids on both jurisdictions. They have also accompanied politicians from the Republic, such as the President, on visit to Northern Ireland. So sa kanilang mga pinakamataas na rangko sa kanila ay may kanya-kanyang responsibilidad. So dito sa mga detectives naman nila ay binibigyan nila ng seguridad ang mga presidente nila. Then kung sila ay babiyahe, dito din pwede din silang mag-joint force sa Northern Ireland kung may combat ganun, or merong pwedeng dumalaw yung presidente ng Southern Ireland sa Northern Ireland. Next, punta naman tayo dito sa Northern Ireland. The senior officer in charge of the PSNI is its chief constable. The chief constable is appointed by the Northern Ireland Policing Board, subject to the approval of the Minister of Justice for Northern Ireland. The Chief Constable of Northern Ireland is the third highest paid police officer in the UK. Each district is headed by a chief superintendent. Then districts are divided into areas commanded by the chief inspector. These in turn are divided into sectors commanded by inspector. So next, PSNI officers have full powers of a constable throughout Northern Ireland and the adjacent United Kingdom waters. The service headquarters are located in Knock, an area in East Belfast. Then, ito na po yung aming reference. Then, yun lamang po. Maraming salamat. Then, keep safe everyone. Thank you.